Coffee Pot Conversations.
Hello and welcome to Coffee Pot Conversations, hosted by An Englishman in Paris. My name is Paul. This is episode 2.9. Coffee shop, but not in Paris. I'm here today with Rory and Jasper, who, whilst they're meant to be at school, aren't at school because it's teacher training day. Yep, England have what we call inset days, not to be confused with incest days. So what that means is the boys don't go to school, teachers go in and get trained. I thought they were already trained, that's how they get qualified. But hey, what do I know? They wouldn't accept me. Well, actually they would accept me, but I couldn't afford the pay cut. But that's just English teachers, not to worry. So today, coming up, we have the news, and then we have the special moment where we have live, not in the studio, but in the coffee shop, Rory and Jasper. We have no idea what we're going to talk about. So in the interest of good housekeeping, let's move on to the news.
What? Oh, sorry. Here's the news. So, seeing as we've not mentioned the Paris Olympics for a little while, let's talk about the Paris Olympics and also the Paralympics. Pretty much it's all over. So, they have removed the rings from the Eiffel Tower, and the cordon from the Tuileries Garden has also been taken down, and that's now in search of a new home. The Palace of Versailles, which required alterations for the equestrian events, it's not going to be completely restored until early next year. They're looking at the figure works to work out if they actually did exceed the 4.5 billion euro budget or not. I don't think anyone's going to complain too much. I think it was good money well spent. I may be wrong. From my perspective, having attended and watched on telly, I think it was a bit of a winner. I really do. And once the temporary Olympic venues in the capital have been fully dismantled, we'll have more information on that. The information that we do have is regarding Rachel Gunn, also known as Ray Gunn. For those of you not fully following the breaking section of the Olympics, urban section, it was her, Ray Gunn, who had a bit of an unconventional performance, which helped propel, apparently, breaking into the spotlight, not necessarily in a good way. However, it has now been fully decided that it won't be held in the 2028 Olympics in LA. Now, I'm sure that her retirement isn't connected to that. I think it's just one of those coincidental things. And just finishing off talking about the Olympics for this season, until the next episode where I mention them in 2.10, the best bits, we have a bell being installed in Notre Dame. And this is an Olympic bell which was trackside at the Stade de France. I was at the Stade de France with Nev and the boys for Rugby Sevens. Didn't see the bell, but that wasn't athletics, so that's probably why it wasn't there. Unless it was there and we just didn't see it. Wouldn't expect to see a bell at the stadium, I guess. But anyway, that's the Olympic bell, which was rung by each track and field winner. So that's a good way to gloat. I rang that bell, and you can hear it in Notre Dame. And these were consecrated by Olivier Rebaudieu Dumas, the rector of Notre Dame, with holy water and a tree branch. Standing on the square outside the cathedral, according to The Independent, he and Tony Estanguy, head of the Paris 2024 organising committee, struck the bells with a wooden mallet to mark the occasion. So the other bells are going to be called Gabriel, Anne Geneviève, Denis, Marcel, Etienne, Benoit Joseph, Maurice and Jean-Marie. They were originally cast in 2013 for Notre Dame's 850th anniversary. The cathedral's two larger bells remain intact on the South Tower, and they were fortunately unaffected by the blaze. So that's a winner. Another winner is that the same cathedral, Notre Dame de Paris, despite the French culture minister Rachid Dati suggesting a €5 entry fee to pilgrims and visitors, the Catholic authorities of Notre Dame are firmly against such measures. Despite the assumption of 15 million visitors coming in 2025, raising around $75 million to preserve and renovate France's other churches, the free admission to Catholic churches in France is protected under a 1905 law that outlines the boundaries that separate church and state. While the ownership of the French church buildings went to the state, the church has supreme authority over their function. Ooh, sounds a little bit like it's going to turn Napoleonic. Except, of course, they do charge to visit Saint-Chapelle. But hey, that's another episode. And finally, nearly finally, penultimately, Just bringing this episode to a slightly longer length than firstly anticipated, we have the news that Paris is to follow major European cities with the introduction of car-free zones. The thing is, residents didn't notice because generally the residents don't drive around Paris, and those that do drive, they're exempt anyway. So the zone à trafic limité, I think I said that correctly actually, it's the limited traffic zone, and about 100,000 people and 11,000 businesses are affected, although technically they're not because they've been excluded, so that's fine. Pretty much Anne's plan to remove/reduce the amount of car traffic, motorised vehicular traffic, is she's just planning on turning Paris into one of the world's most bike-friendly cities. And that's great. She's already installed hundreds of kilometres of new cycle paths, especially since COVID, where everyone took to their bikes to get fit and healthy. So all it is the fact that City Hall figures show between 350,000 and 500,000 vehicles enter the ZTL every day, with up to 50% estimated to be through traffic. So that's people who are just going straight through. And that's fine. They're just using it as a rat run straight through Bosch. Central arrondissements 1, 2, 3 and 4. That's where the zone is. What they're planning on doing is stopping traffic from going in. Except you will be allowed, if you are an emergency service, a bus, a taxi, people with reduced mobility, drivers who live or work there, and these destination traffics. So that's those people that are entering for a specific reason, such as for a medical appointment, or to visit friends, or go to a shop, a cinema, a restaurant, a theatre, that type of thing. So as long as you're not driving through Paris, in those 4 zones, central section of the city, you're fine. No one really knows how this is going to be policed. It's an educational phase initially, which is due to last 3 months. Knowing the way that Paris works, it probably will be extended to at least 6 months. And the drivers will just be warned about the new rules coming in, and then they will be fined. But we don't know how they're going to be fined or how much they're going to be fined. So good luck with reducing through traffic and improving air quality in Paris. I think, to be honest though, you are doing a fairly decent job of it. I'm not too sure about the whole traffic, but it may be because I come from we drive on the left kind of country, as opposed to every street almost being a one-way street or a dual carriageway in Paris. But there we go. So finishing of the news, just a very quick one. Happy birthday, Taff, is an old friend of mine from my brick-built uni over in Glamorgan in Wales, in Treforest, just south of Pontypridd. So happy birthday, Taff. It was your birthday. By the time you listen to this, which will probably be about 7 years' time, you'll have many birthday messages. So happy birthday, Taff. Rory.
Coffee Pot Conversations.
Hello, and who are you?
Hello, I'm Rory, the oldest brother.
Hello, I'm Jasper.
And what are we doing here today, boys?
I believe we are recording a podcast for you to test out the microphones.
We are sitting in a Costa Coffee, drinking our drinks.
And what drinks do we have? Jasper, what have you got? It's like a dull orange coloured looking drink. So what's that?
I have a mango and passion fruit refresher.
And Rory, yours is gone. So what did you have?
I had a medium white hot chocolate. It was very nice, I have to admit.
Okay, and who knows what I'm drinking?
You're having an iced latte with caramel sauce.
Absolutely. Was that because you knew what it was, or because you heard me order it?
Because I'm smart.
He heard you order it.
That's what I'm thinking. Although you are smart as well. And the weather's still a little bit warm. We're sat in the corner right by the window, which doesn't help, and sweat's dripping down everyone. So yeah, we are here today testing out microphones. The reason being, at the end of November, I'm going back to Paris, which is nice, and I'm going to be trying to do some interviews. Now you're going to find the results of these interviews in season 3 if they happen. So season 2 coming to an end, boys. What's been happening with us? Meaning this is where we talk about the Olympics.
Oh yeah, we went to the Olympics in the summer. We watched 3 sports, wasn't it?
It certainly was.
It was the beach volleyball.
Beach volleyball was first.
Rugby sevens.
Rugby sevens was next.
And then basketball 3 and 3 in the evening.
Absolutely. And as we know, I've done 2 episodes about the Olympics already, so we'll get your view, your version of events. How did we find it?
At beach volleyball, I was sick, so not very good.
Yeah, Jasper's sick. The weather was very nice though, I'd have to admit. The sun was on quite a bit. A couple of tan lines, but overall enjoyable to watch.
The beach volleyball or the Olympics in general?
Beach volleyball, but the Olympics with the heat, but then Jasper's a more for the beach volleyball.
Yeah, I think there was apprehension and nerves. Although you've been ill for a few days prior, haven't you?
Yeah,
I don't think he wasn't very ill, like not as ill as the day, but he had a sore throat here and there, headache here and there.
And how did we try and fix the sore throat? Do you remember?
by giving me a sucky spit.
After that, do you remember?
I forgot what it's called.
It's in the sachet, wasn't it? The Doliprane.
The dolly plan.
Well done for that.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we had a little stay out in the suburbs first. And how did we find that, just north of Saint Denis? What do we think of the area that we stayed in at first?
I found it was actually quite nice. It was like a nice rural part of France. It was like the countryside of England. It wasn't as busy as Paris. It was quite busy though, in Saint Denis. But it's like a different version. Like it's quite enjoyable.
And Jasper, how did you find that first part we stayed in?
I don't know what to think about it.
Okay, obviously you can tell that, you know, a season later Jasper's still not quite mastered the art of conversation, but that's fine.
Yeah.
And in Saint Denis, I was actually listening to the podcast episodes earlier today when I come pick you boys up. I mentioned about the correct place we went into. Do you remember that one?
Yes.
In Saint Denis?
It was very nice, wasn't it?
Do you remember what you had?
I had a Nutella, banana, and Kinder crepe.
And I had banana cream and chocolate spread, I think, actually.
You didn't want the cream at first, did you? The chantilly? And then she said, try it. Is that right?
I think I didn't know what it was, but then she said it's just, and then you kind of a bit here and there vaguely explained it's like the normal one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then once we finished with Saint Denis, after missing the torch twice,
Yeah.
we moved back into Paris into the 14th.
Yep.
And what do you think of that apartment?
It was very cosy. I think the location, spot on. It was near a supermarket, nice restaurants, 2 metro stations, 2 different lines, which was very handy. Could get anywhere. Yeah, it's overall very enjoyable.
In my opinion, it's the best apartment in Paris.
And do we remember where it was?
It was.
In the 14th this month.
Absolutely, in the 14th. Go on, Rory.
I was gonna say the 14th arrondissement.
Absolutely.
Also, you already said it.
You did.
Oh, but there we
It
go.
is.
At least you're listening now then, boys, which makes a lovely change. So what sort of food were we eating this time around?
We was eating steak
And more steak.
and maybe even more steak
And then chips.
with more steak.
Yeah, it was a meat-filled holiday. What about the 2 nights prior to moving back into Paris?
We had kebab.
And then kebab again at the same place with the same foods.
Absolutely. But that was nice, though, wasn't it?
It was a nice
It was a
kebab.
different kind of kebab to what we're used to in London.
It was a nicely priced kebab too, I'd say. I wouldn't say it's bad. Thinking about it. Really?
Yeah,
Because you're not paying.
yeah. In that
No,
respect,
but
it
I
was.
was looking at the menu, and seeing what we got, it didn't actually look bad.
Euros have different currency to pounds.
Yeah, but like converting it very badly.
Yeah.
I'd call it 16 euros. You're looking about £10-ish maybe. Maybe 13,
Yeah,
early 10s. You know what I mean?
yeah. I suppose sort of looking where we were, although again it was outside of Paris. So actually, it'd be interesting to see what Paris kebab is. I might do that. I'll put it on my to-do list. Check out the price of kebabs in Paris. But yeah, no, I suppose it wasn't unreasonable. We were sitting in, which is always more expensive than just a takeaway.
It was about, wasn't it about, 15 euros or
I
something?
honestly don't remember.
Yeah, it was 15 euros. It was
But it was a big portion.
I didn't finish it.
No,
at
it
all.
was a nice sized portion and nice food.
Yeah.
Again, that was the thing that I was telling people previously. It's when you go to Paris, it's a fresh lifestyle.
100%.
You buy food, you eat the food, and that's it. Because of the size of the apartments being so small, very little storage in fridges and freezers, you buy it, and within 2 days you've got to eat it.
Yeah.
Yes, food does go off quicker. I think they've bought strawberries, and they'd gone by the time we finished. Like, they'd gone bad by the time we let it go.
Yeah.
Because they're so fresh, they haven't got all the chemicals laying on to try and preserve them. It's why Easter egg chocolate tastes better than normal chocolate.
We do.
Less preservatives. Don't need to keep them for so
But
long.
then at the same time, would you prefer fresher food that runs out quicker, or not so fresh food that takes a little bit longer to run out?
Personally, fresher food that runs out quicker, because I don't do a big week-long purchase. I buy pretty much for the day or for the next day. Makes batch cooking difficult, but at least you know it's going to be fresh, and because of that, it's again less chemicals, less storage, less chance of cross-contamination with stuff. It's nice. So, what else do you remember about our latest trip, or our most recent trip, I should say, to Paris? Stunned silence whilst the boys think.
Go on, Jasper.
There was beautiful scenery.
That was beautiful scenery. Did we see anything new this time round? Apart from obviously the outskirts of the Basilica, and we went to the museum in Saint Denis, but apart from that,
The Olympics.
yeah, the Olympics.
Yeah. My second one. Jasper's first.
Absolutely. I'm just wondering, did we go anywhere the same that we've been before that would have been different? I suppose around the Eiffel Tower was a bit different.
Jardin de Roy.
Jardin de Roy
That was
in the Latin Quarter, Rue de la Chèvre. And what did you have to eat there, Jasper?
Steak.
What did you have?
I think it was steak.
Yeah, and I obviously had duck. That's my go-to dish in any French restaurant. French onion soup and duck. Unless it's mussels, but generally it's duck or French onion soup. But yeah, just thinking, when we went to the Eiffel Tower for the beach volleyball,
Yep.
we were at a different part of the Champ de Mars this time round. How did you find the Olympic Park? Because we sat upstairs for all the beach volleyball, but Jasper, you went to the toilet?
Yes.
And how was it arranged? What were the toilets like? Were they clean, dirty? Because when you met me at the half marathon, you went to the toilets there, didn't you?
Yes. They were kind of like the portable toilets. You could move them around.
Not you personally, but the companies could move them.
Yes.
Yeah, and were they clean and fresh?
I didn't go in it.
Okay.
Oh.
But when we went to the final ones at the 3x3s, 3-on-3s for the
Yeah.
basketball, at the Place de la Concorde,
Yep.
those toilets we went to, they were nice.
We didn't go to the toilets.
We didn't write the bit, or was it? Who
That
don't
was
take the
Jasper.
toilets?
That was you and Jasper.
Was it?
Me and Nev got drinks.
I never went to toilet basketball. You went with Dad, and me and Nev were sitting there because it was too crowded.
Me and Dad went to get drinks.
I know we went to
during
the
the
drinks
games.
at the end, and we weren't allowed back in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then it was me and Nev sitting on the side because you and Jasper went to the toilet.
We didn't go to toilet basketball. That was before the match.
Yeah, before the match.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it was you and Dad.
Yeah.
Okay. But anyway, compare those to the half marathon toilets. What did you think of them?
A lot cleaner.
Yeah, I think they did well. And in terms of Paris being busy or quiet, because you've been, March, you've been Christmas time. How do we find it with the people and obviously the police and the army presence? How do we feel about that?
Oh, the police and the army are so much scarier than in Paris than in England. the size of them, you know they're quick just by looking at them, and it's so intimidating. You wouldn't want to do anything around there.
They were very intimidating.
See, I honestly didn't find them intimidating. I've reported on that before. I found that there was that presence, so you do see them. But it's like when you go abroad and you see them at the airport, they're there to do their job, and you know not to mess about. But no, I still think they were sort of sitting there on their phones and just watching. And
I would find them intimidating, but at the same time, because how you're built, you're big, tall, everything, you wouldn't, in a way, you'd think like that would be like, it wouldn't be as intimidating to you, rather than a regular built guy, say, you know what I mean?
yeah, I guess I've lost that perspective after reaching, 6 foot. things do look differently.
Yeah.
I'll admit to that. But so did we do much shopping this time round?
No, we didn't actually, did we really? Apart from when we went to Westfields, that's about it really, isn't it?
I think so, yeah.
Because we went to Adopt.
I went to Adopt.
Yeah.
Little shout out to Adopt. My favourite French
Big shout
fragrance,
out.
aside
Big shout
from Fragonard, which we also went to.
We went to their museum.
We certainly did.
We also went to that supermarket.
We did, and I don't remember the name of it, but I know it began with an A, and I really can't remember it.
Yeah.
But I've still got a pack of their crisps.
We still got a pack of the chocolate
Oh yeah, you discovered tablets of chocolate this time around, didn't you, boys?
tablets.
Yeah, it's like a slab of chocolate.
Yeah, it's like 5 slabs, isn't it, in the packet?
Yeah. And then we hit up Monoprix and destroyed them.
Yeah.
And then I've come back and I've done the same with Aldi and Tesco's for you.
Yeah.
But
It was Monoprix first, actually. It was Monoprix first. It was coming back from somewhere.
it was Monoprix on the Rue de la Scie as we came back. Yeah,
Yeah.
we were coming back past Le Femere, that restaurant
Yeah.
I went to in Ev. As we were walking back to Monoprix on the left, wasn't it?
Yeah.
One night. Yeah.
Yeah. And then we went there again. And then we end up going to the other one, I forgot the name of, to take it home back to England.
Which I think that's what you might have seen in the fridge.
Because if that was the night, we went to Jardin.
That was it. That's when we came
Yeah.
back. So I've got the best bits coming up, and I
Yep.
still have 2 clips, I think, that I'm going to use. Definitely one clip.
Was it
Yeah, it was.
in Stade de France, where
it was.
beach volleyball, wasn't it? Was it Stade de France?
No, it was Stade de France,
Stade de France.
metro journey. It was after that. We were sitting down at the Stade de France, getting ready for Rugby
yeah.
Sevens.
Oh, that was
Yeah.
funny.
So we're not going to mention that just yet. We're saving that for the best bits.
That was funny.
But Jasper, quick question for you. Have you listened to any of my episodes yet?
The ones you play in the car.
And Rory, do you listen?
When I have, if I'm got nothing to do, I'll have a listen. Say I'm playing Xbox, I would put them on, have a listen.
So you don't have to answer now, but have you got best bits that you're going to let me know to use for the next episode?
Yes.
I think I might.
Okay. Well, you need to stay tuned to find out next episode, see if I have used them, see if you did tell me, and make sure they're not the same as what I'm going to use. So you've got to get your thinking caps on, boys.
Yeah.
Right, so what else has been taking place?
Jasper's entered secondary school, or high school for some.
Absolutely. And how's that going for you, Jasper?
Easy.
Okay, we are getting a lot of, they're called RPs, is that reward points?
Reward points.
So you're doing quite well with those. And how about you, Rory? Moving up to choosing your options now?
Yep. Into year 9, 3rd years for some. And yeah, choose my options in Marchy time, so it's towards the end of the year. Yeah, I think you could tell by the students that everything's changed. You know, because in year 8 they thought, oh, nothing's going on. We can relax for a year. Because year 7 we were the smallest kids, getting used to it. Year 9 you're choosing your options, and then you put your head down. Year 8 you just get to relax and do absolutely nothing, have a little bit of fun with it. So you could tell with the students that would be, say, silly or disruptive, you could tell they've put their head down. Not completely, they would still be disruptive and all that, but you can tell that they're realising they actually need to do something this year.
Back to where you said you're picking your GCSEs in March. It's not at the end of the year, it's at the start of the year.
It's not, it's March.
So it's the beginning of the year, but towards the end of the academic year.
Yeah. Not the annual year, the academic year. Should be September to June. So it's towards the end of the academic year, at the start of the annual year.
And just before we decide we're going to wrap it up, what do you boys want me to bring back from Paris? Jasper?
I'm not sure.
Rory?
I think maybe, because we talked about it quite a bit today.
Hang on, it's probably chocolate or adopt. No. I can't bring steak back.
Oh, well, that one's out the window then.
Do you want me to bring some chocolate?
It depends on if you eat it, if you finish it by the time you leave. If not, there's no point really, is there?
You know me in stock. I'll see what I can do.
Yeah. But to actually answer your question for something physically, maybe be like...
I've also got Christmas coming up as well.
Surprise me, how that? Something that I wouldn't expect. Could be food, could be a drink, could be absolutely anything. It could be a touristy item, could be anything. Just surprise me.
Is that for Christmas or just as a return
Just
gift?
as a return.
Okay.
It doesn't have to be anything big.
Like an egg whisk from Paris for Christmas, probably not the greatest present that you'd receive. Well, that'd be a nice random gift.
We've already got a whisk.
Yeah, I actually bought someone a garlic press for their birthday one year. Don't know if she used it. So boys, have you got any questions for me?
Go on, Jasper, as I've been doing most of the talking.
I don't know, so back to Rory.
Let's go with what's your favourite famous architecture in Paris? So it could be like the Eiffel Tower, Arc de Triomphe, Sacré-Cœur, all of that, all the tourist areas.
It's the church outside Westfield, Saint Eustache. It's a beautiful, beautiful church. I don't know very much about it, but they've got lovely stained glass windows, and I've been in there. I don't know if I took Never or not. I know she said she wanted to.
Okay.
And yeah, I've got a lovely photograph that I took, then I manipulated it on Snapseed, and that's one of my favourite photos of Paris as well.
Very nice. Snapseed is good, isn't it?
I do like. I've not used it for a while, but yeah, I do like it. Although you've got all these AI chat GPT things opening up, which are now creating their own images.
Yeah,
So
I think you've only got like 5 images, and then you have to upgrade to Pro or something like that.
As an early adopter, I get special privileges.
So you bought the Pro then?
No, I've not bought the Pro. I'm tempted to because I keep getting knocked out with the amount I'm using, but I don't know if I can justify it just yet. But it won't be long.
Yeah.
And
That's what
thanks,
you
yeah, thanks for that musical interlude there. Luckily I'm covered. Oh, here we go, music. Right, I need 2 tracks to start off next season if I don't get anyone that's going to supply them for me. So, what's your favourite French track or a bit of music that reminds you of Paris?
From the start, but I don't know how to pronounce the name. Laufey or something like that. Laufey. It's like a Parisian coffee shop vibe song.
Okay. Right, I'll hunt that down and see what I can do. Okay, so just one more time.
From the start.
That's the title of it,
Yeah.
from the start. Alright, I'll have a look. Oh, Roy's just hit the microphone on the table while he's going for his phone. It's on the floor, cooling down, recharging,
Yeah.
so we don't get any interference. And Jasper, song from you that reminds you of Paris?
Champs-Élysées.
I've already used that. You could come up with another one, I'm afraid.
There you go.
And there we go. Anything else to say? No? Okay, so don't panic. You know I can cut and splice, so it's going to make it nice and sounding. It says 37 minutes. It'll probably be about 25-minute
That's what I say, it's probably
episode.
yeah, maybe 20 minutes.
Right. Well, thank you, Rory. Thank you, Jasper.
Let's end it on 40 minutes.
You shouldn't say that because when I cut down, it's not going to be 40 minutes.
You can cut that bit.
I might just leave that bit, and then we
So
can
it's
just
just the realism of it.
and show the realism, but then also work out how much we have cut down.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right, so we're on 39.50, and just give it 10 seconds, but that's only on one recording, because this one's reset, and this one's going on 39.42. So whenever you're ready to stop it, Jasper. That was 40 minutes, and I'm going to take this for another 10 seconds. We've got 10 on the microphone still, Rory? Oh no, we don't. No, the microphones are finished. Alright, so I'm on 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Coffee Pot Conversations.
And that was episode 2.9, A Coffee Shop, but not in Paris. I would like to thank Rory and Jasper for giving up my lunchtime to sit with me in a Costa Coffee in East London, just humouring me, making me feel loved and wanted, and, edging towards that precipice of fame whilst feeling rather uncomfortable because nobody actually knew what questions were going to be asked, what the topics were going to be. But you know what? We got through, and it showed a nice dynamic that we have between us as a family. Well, I think so. So I did ask the boys for the best bits, as you heard, and we all agreed that the best bits that they were thinking of were the best bits that I've already planned for the next best bits, which is episode 2.10. So we may not get their best bits, or we will do, but we may not get separate best bits. I also asked, as you heard, for music, which Rory did say. In the meantime, let's go from the start.
Don't you notice how I get quiet when there's no one else around? Me and you and awkward silence. Don't you dare look at me that way. I don't need reminders of how you don't feel the same. Oh, the burning pain, listening to you heart pump out some new soulmate. She's so perfect, blah, blah, blah. Oh, how I wish you'll wake up one day. Run to me, confess your love, at least just let me say that when I talk to you, oh, Cupid walks right through and shoots an arrow through my heart. And I sound like a loon, but don't you feel it to confess I loved you from the start. What's a girl to do, lying on my bed staring into the blue? Unrequited, terrifying love is driving me a bit insane. Have to get this off my chest, I'm telling you today that when I talk to you, oh, Cupid walks right through and shoots an arrow through my heart. And I sound like a loon, but don't you feel it to confess I loved you from the start. Confess I loved you, just thinking of you. I know I've loved you from the start.
And that was From the Start by Love, which is an Icelandic name. It happens to be the mother of Loki. And just for clarification, I was referring to the name as opposed to the singer, who is not Loki's mother. Rory, thank you for an introduction, because I'd never heard of it, I'd never heard the song, and wow, it was amazing. It really was. Considering the music you used to listen to years back to this now, this is proper music. This was, like you say, it had a real Parisian coffee shop vibe. it was just a nice light jazz. It was beautiful, and we know that I like my jazz. I'm not an aficionado, but I do really, really heavily appreciate good jazz, and that was definitely it. I will be listening to more of her stuff, and she also has a book club out. So Nev, hunt that one down, and you can move away from your regular genre of book reading. I don't think she does Icelandic books, incidentally. And now it's time for Jasper's jingle.
Coming up on Coffee Pot Conversations.
We have Jasper's music coming up on the best bits. We also have the best bits. Give me your suggestions for the best bits. That's the best bits at An Englishman in Paris.blog. We will have the best bits next. I think that's it. That's all that's coming up. Oh, we've made it through. Somehow I've made it all the way through to episode 2.10. Not yet though, that's still to come. Episode 2.10, the best bits. So you know the drill. Anything you want to say, shout out at An Englishman in Paris.blog. Birthday requests, I'm happy to accept them. It's nearly been a year. Can you believe it? I've been doing this for nearly a year already. Birthdays at An Englishman in Paris.blog. I have an idea for season 3. I've got no idea if it's going to work. My last idea did work because you've just listened to it. So just sit back, hold tight. Let's get through the best bits first. That will probably be quite a short episode. Then we've got Christmas. Huzzah! That's a winner. And then on the 14th of January. So if you are keeping track and you're listening back in 2024, the 14th of January 2025 will be the beginning of season 3. Wowzers. Who knows where we're going to be with that? Any song requests? Request at anenglishmaninparis.blog. You get the drill. You know the email addresses by now. If this is your first episode, welcome. Send me an email. That's it. So for now, I'm just going to, I'm going to let Rory sing us out whilst I go and look for some more Laufey, which is Laufey. It's an Icelandic name. So we don't pronounce it how it's written because it's written Laufey and it's Laufey, probably. I dare say I've made a mistake with that one. Still, all that's left for me to say is, until next time, keep the coffee hot, the pot warm, and the conversation cool.
Coffee Pot Conversations.